Angel says, Archangel Michael says, I order you to open this right now. This is not an option. This is not a suggestion. This is an urgent command from heaven. Beloved, do not ignore this. This message has been written into your destiny, carried across realms, fought for by angels. Because if you overlook this moment, you may never know what was done against you, and you may never reclaim what was stolen. Someone very close to you, someone you trusted, someone who spoke kindness with their mouth, but harbored shadows in their heart, made a deal behind your back. They smiled in your presence, but in secret they plotted. They spoke with you in the light, but in the dark they sold pieces of your future. They entered an agreement with hands unclean. And they did it not because they were strong, but because they were weak. They feared your rising. They feared your light. They feared what God placed in you. And because of their fear, they aligned themselves with darkness. They went to people who wanted to see you fall. They exchanged words. They exchanged secrets. They exchanged promises. And they sealed a deal with lies. This was not just about money, though money was involved. This was not just about position, though jealousy was involved. This was not just about love, though betrayal of love was woven in. This was about your destiny. They wanted to trade your future for their comfort. They wanted to sacrifice your name for their reputation. They wanted to bury your voice so theirs could be heard. And all the while they looked at you with eyes that pretended care. They sat at your table. They drank your water. They knew your pain, and yet they chose to become the one who signed the hidden contract of destruction against you. Archangel Michael has stood before the throne of God concerning you. He has fought for your name. He has blocked the arrows that were meant to pierce your soul. But now he says enough is enough. The time for secrecy is over. The time for masks is over. The truth must be revealed. Heaven cannot allow you to walk blind while people are plotting in shadows. Heaven cannot allow you to be bound by agreements you never signed. And so the scroll is opened and the hidden deal is exposed. This person made a deal behind your back to ruin your future because they could not stand the thought of you surpassing them. They saw how favored you are. They saw doors open for you that never opened for them. They saw you rise from ashes they thought would consume you. They saw miracles come to your house while drought came to theirs. And instead of rejoicing for you, they envied you. Instead of learning from you, they hated you. Instead of protecting you, they betrayed you. And they made the mistake of believing that God was not watching. But God was watching. God was recording. God was writing. And now the same hands that signed against you will be revealed. Beloved, your future is sacred. Your destiny was written in heaven long before you were born. It carries the fingerprints of eternity. No human agreement, no whispered deal, no dark exchange can destroy what God sealed. But here is what you must understand. Exposure comes before restoration. You must see who they are. You must know what they did because the season you are entering requires discernment sharper than ever before. You cannot walk into your promise carrying people who would rather see you buried. You cannot rise with weights tied to your feet. You cannot build your palace on sand while termites eat the foundation. And so heaven in mercy is exposing the rot. You have felt it. You sensed something was wrong. You heard whispers in your spirit. You had dreams that unsettled you. You woke in the night with no peace. That was not imagination. That was God warning you. That was Michael stirring you. That was your own soul crying out for truth. You wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. You wanted to believe their words. But words are cheap. Actions reveal the heart. And the heart of this person was revealed when they chose betrayal over loyalty, greed over love, jealousy over trust. Do not mistake their closeness for innocence. Betrayal never comes from strangers. It comes from those allowed near. Judas was close to Jesus. Delilah was close to Samson. Cain was close to Abel. Betrayal requires proximity. This person was in your circle, but they were never in your corner. And now God says, I will not let them succeed. Their deal is nullified. Their agreement is void. Their trap is dismantled. For I, the Lord, am your defender. And Michael, my warrior, stands guard over your name. But listen carefully, because heaven's urgency is not to frighten you, but to awaken you. There is only a small window for you to act. You must open your eyes and see. You must release the ones exposed. You must cut off ties that drain you. Because if you continue to carry what I am removing, you will delay your breakthrough. The enemy cannot curse you, but you can. Block yourself by refusing to let go. This is why Michael says, I order you to open this now. I order you to listen. I order you not to ignore this, because ignoring it means walking with the betrayer still hidden by your side, and that would be fatal to your destiny. Your tears were not wasted. Every cry was heard. Every injustice has been noted in heaven's courts. The scales of justice are tipping. The deal they made is coming back to strike them. The pit they dug for you is the pit they will fall into. The words they spoke over you will circle back to their own lives. For God cannot be mocked. What is sown must be reaped. And they sowed betrayal. They sowed lies. They sowed envy. Now their harvest is upon them. But you, child of light, are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not unprotected. Even when you didn't see it, angels surrounded you. Even when you felt small, heaven shouted your name. Even when you thought you lost everything, God was writing your comeback. And now, in this very moment, the comeback begins. You will rise higher than they expected. You will shine brighter than they feared. You will walk through doors they tried to close. And when they see it, they will know it was God who defended you. This is why the exposure matters. Because when people see the truth, they will know you were never the problem. They will know you were chosen all along. They will know your name was protected by heaven. And the one who tried to ruin you will not only be exposed but shamed by their own actions. They will not have the last word. God will. And God's word over you is life, favor, blessing, victory. You are stepping into a new chapter. But the page turns only when you accept the truth. The betrayal is real. The deal was made. The intentions were dark. But God is bigger. His light is stronger. His hand is upon you. And nothing, no signature in the dark, no whispered agreement, no secret enemy can cancel his plan. You are unstoppable because you are covered. You are unbreakable because you are chosen. You are untouchable because Michael stands at your side. So rise. Wipe your tears. Take your power back. Speak the name of God with authority. Walk forward with clarity. For the exposure has come, the deal is broken. The betrayer is revealed and your future remains intact. This is your divine confirmation. This is your urgent call. Do not ignore it. Do not dismiss it. Heaven fought too hard to bring it to you. Heaven gave you this window, this chance, this message. Archangel Michael says, take it seriously. This is not a joke. This is not just words. This is your life. Finally, beloved, know this. No one can ruin what God has already redeemed. No deal can erase your destiny. No betrayal can block your blessing. You will rise. You will prosper. You will walk in glory because heaven has spoken. And when heaven speaks, it is done. God says, Archangel Michael says, I order you to open this right now. Do not ignore this. Do not put this aside because the very moment you delay, the enemy gains ground. This message is for you and only you. Because in the spirit realm, something has been happening without your knowledge. Someone you trusted, someone you would have never suspected has made a deal behind your back. This was not a small mistake. This was not an accident. This was deliberate. It was calculated. It was intended to ruin your future. You need to understand that what you have carried on your life, your destiny, your blessing, your inheritance, your divine calling has always been bigger than you realized. That is why you have been targeted. That is why darkness has followed you. That is why betrayal has been a shadow in your life. And now finally, God is saying, I will not allow this deal to prosper. I will not allow what was signed in the dark to destroy what I ordained in the light. Heaven is speaking now with urgency. The angels have been in warfare over your name. Archangel Michael himself has stood between you and destruction, wielding his sword against forces that tried to claim what was not theirs. You do not know how close you came to losing everything. You do not know how many nights your name was whispered in secret places. How many plans were made to sabotage your blessing. How many curses were sent to make you give up. But even in that darkness, God's light surrounded you. Even in those traps, Michael raised his hand and said, no further. You are protected, beloved, but you must know the truth so you will not fall for the same deception again. This person made a deal to ruin your future because they could not bear to watch you rise higher. They could not stomach the thought that you, who suffered, who endured rejection, who were underestimated could be chosen by heaven. They thought they could take your place. They thought they could buy your crown. So they sold their soul in a transaction that will haunt them forever. Behind your back, words were spoken, agreements were made, sacrifices were given, all to stop you. But what they did not realize is this: no deal made in darkness can override the covenant made in heaven. Before you were born, before you took your first breath, God already signed your destiny with eternal ink. No enemy can cancel it. No demon can erase it. No jealous soul can replace it. You have felt heaviness. You have felt delays. You wondered why the path was so hard. You cried and thought maybe you were cursed. Maybe you weren't good enough. Maybe God forgot you. But He didn't. Those delays were the ripples of the deal they made. That heaviness was the weight of what was spoken against you. But it never had authority. It never had power greater than God. It slowed you, but it didn't stop you. It distracted you, but it didn't destroy you. Because all along, Michael was guarding you, holding back the fullness of their attack, waiting for this moment when the exposure would come. If you'd like to donate or show your appreciation, you can give a super thanks up to $100. Finally, God says exposure has begun. The masks are falling off. The truth is coming out. The woman who smiled at you but spoke against you. The man who pretended to support you but signed against you. They are being revealed. This exposure is not to hurt you but to free you, because you cannot go where God is sending you with blinders on. You cannot step into your full promise while holding hands with secret enemies. You prayed for clarity and now God is giving it. But He warns you must be brave enough to see it. Do not dismiss what He shows you. Do not excuse the behavior once it is revealed. Do not cling to false loyalty because your destiny is bigger than their approval. Understand this clearly. The deal made against you was spiritual, but it manifested in the natural. That is why certain opportunities vanished. Why people pulled away suddenly. Why doors slammed shut in your face. It was sabotage. They thought they succeeded. But what they didn't know is that God sometimes allows doors to close not because He is punishing you, but because He is redirecting you. They tried to ruin your future, but all they did was rear out you into something greater. They thought they stopped you, but they only delayed their own downfall. The very trap they dug for you will be the pit they fall into themselves. Archangel Michael is weeping because you have doubted your worth. He has fought for you with every ounce of strength, and still you looked at yourself and wondered, am I chosen? Am I loved? Am I forgotten? And He says, beloved, you were never forgotten. That is why He comes now with urgency. He says, I order you to open this now, to hear this now. Because if you keep ignoring your value, if you keep second-guessing yourself, you allow the enemy to gain ground. You cannot delay anymore. Time is critical. Heaven is in motion. Blessings are prepared. But you must align your heart and believe what God says about you. The deal made behind your back was sealed with envy. Envy so deep that they would rather see you destroyed than celebrate you. They watched you grow from nothing. They saw you fall and get back up. They hated that you still had hope. They hated that even broken you carried light. They hated that people were drawn to you without effort. They couldn't buy what you have because what you carry is divine. So they turned to the only thing they thought could defeat you, manipulation in darkness. But darkness can never overcome light. Lies can never silence truth, and betrayal can never destroy what God protects. You are about to see a shift. Pay attention to the coming days. Watch how certain people reveal themselves. Watch how conversations slip. Watch how secrets you were never meant to know suddenly come into the open. That is not coincidence. That is divine exposure. That is heaven pulling back the curtain. And when it happens, don't doubt it. Don't say maybe I'm imagining things. No, that is your answer. That is your confirmation. That is God saying, "See, I told you." And once you see, move differently. Protect your spirit. Protect your vision. Do not go back to the same patterns. Do not hand your trust to the same hands that betrayed you. God says, "I am giving you new connections, new allies, new doors." You do not need to cling to what I am removing. This is not a warning meant to scare you. This is a revelation meant to empower you. You are not cursed. You are covered. You are not abandoned. You are chosen. The enemy tried to convince you otherwise. But look at you. Still here. Still breathing. Still called. That alone proves their deal failed, and it will always fail. Because heaven is on your side. God is on your side. The angels are fighting for you, and no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Finally, God says, "I am exposing the one who tried to ruin your future." They are trembling now because the deal they made is crumbling. The forces they trusted are turning on them. The same darkness they called on is consuming them. But you will rise. You will see vindication. You will walk into blessings that no contract of betrayal can cancel. You will live to testify that when man plotted against you, God Himself stepped in and reversed it. Do not ignore this. Do not dismiss this. Archangel Michael says, "I order you to receive this now because your next season is already open. Your breakthrough is already released. The future they tried to ruin is already secured in heaven. Nothing and no one can take it away. You only need to believe, to rise, to walk forward boldly into what God already promised." This is your message. This is your moment. The deal they made is broken. The curse they spoke is nullified. The weapon they formed is shattered. And your future is untouched, unrenewed, unshakable because it belongs to God. God says, "Listen carefully because this message is not like the others you have scrolled past or dismissed." Archangel Michael has been sent with urgency. His voice is strong. His presence is commanding. And his words are not gentle suggestions, but divine orders that must be heeded. He says, "I order you to open this right now. Do not ignore it. This message is specifically for you. It has been delivered from the heavens, tailored to your soul because something has been hidden from you. Something dangerous, something meant to sabotage your future. A person you trusted has made a deal behind your back to ruin what God has destined for you. They thought their plan was clever, but the divine eye of the Lord sees everything done in secret. Nothing is hidden from God. The schemes in the dark are now being exposed in the light. My child, you have been walking in trust, unaware of the daggers being pointed toward you. Someone smiled in your face, but signed your name in a deal that was meant to block your blessings. They wanted to trade your future for their gain. They thought you were powerless to stop them. They thought you were unprotected. But they forgot one thing. You are not alone. God walks with you. Archangel Michael has been guarding you. The angels surround you and the Spirit of the Lord covers you like a shield. What they planned for evil will not come to pass. What they intended to destroy will become the stepping stone for your elevation. Archangel Michael leans close and speaks again. They have made a deal. Yes, but that deal is already broken by heaven. It is already cancelled by the decree of the Most High. The documents they tried to sign against you are null and void in the courts of heaven. What was meant to bind you has already been shattered by the sword of divine justice. The more they plot, the more God exposes them. The more they try to hide, the more the light reveals. And now this moment, you are being warned because you must prepare yourself for what is coming. God says, do not be afraid. Do not tremble when the truth comes out. Do not be surprised when faces are revealed, even those you never suspected. I tell you now, they plotted in secret, but their names will soon be spoken out loud. Their betrayal will not be hidden much longer. Do not cling to the false comfort of those who pretend to love you, but quietly destroy you. The truth is already unfolding. I am removing them from your life. I am cutting the cords of attachment. I am exposing the liars, the manipulators, the jealous hearts, and the greedy souls. You will see it. You will know it. And though it may shock you, it will not harm you. Archangel Michael says, this message is urgent because your destiny is on the line. You were never created to live in chains. You were not chosen to be destroyed by the envy of others. Heaven has already spoken blessings over you. And no human hand, no whispered curse, no forged agreement can erase what God has decreed. Yet you must stay vigilant. You must stay in prayer because even though the trap is broken, the enemy will still try to distract you, to pull you into fear, to make you believe that harm is near. But hear this, nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are protected. You are sealed with the Spirit of God. And Archangel Michael has been commanded to stand beside you, to watch over you, to block every arrow, and to strike down every shadow that approaches your path. My child, understand how valuable you are. They would not try so hard to ruin you if you weren't carrying something powerful. The attack is proof of your purpose. The betrayal is confirmation of your blessing. They see something in you that they cannot control and it terrifies them. They made a deal to steal what was never theirs to touch. They reached for a destiny that doesn't belong to them. But destiny cannot be stolen. It is written in heaven. It is sealed with fire. It belongs only to you. Do not let bitterness enter your heart. Do not let anger consume you. Do not waste your energy fighting those who secretly work against you. Heaven is already fighting for you. God Himself has said, "Vengeance is mine. I will repay." And He will. You are not required to bring justice with your hands because justice has already been declared by God's hands. What you must do is trust. Trust in the plan even when it feels heavy. Trust in the timing even when it feels late. Trust in the protection even when the storm rages. You are never abandoned. Archangel Michael says the deal that was made behind your back was poison from the start. They tried to exchange your peace for their greed, but their hands are burning from the very paper they touched. The betrayal they attempted has turned into a chain around their own feet. They dug a pit for you, but they will fall into it themselves. They wanted your life to collapse, but it is their own foundation that is crumbling. Do not gloat. Do not celebrate their fall. Simply stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. This moment is your awakening. God is pulling you into deeper awareness. No longer will you be blind to those who disguise themselves as friends, but are wolves in sheep's clothing. No longer will you give your pearls to those who trample them underfoot. No longer will you let the voices of jealousy dictate your worth. You are stepping into divine clarity where every hidden thing is revealed. Where every liar is unmasked, where every false heart is exposed. God says you will not lose your future. You will not lose your blessing. You will not lose your promise. The deal they tried to make behind your back is already broken. But you must walk in faith. You must rise with courage. You must not run from this moment. Stand firm. Pray boldly. Speak truth. Keep your eyes fixed on me. Not on the chaos. Not on the betrayal, not on the noise. For I am with you. I am your shield. I am your fortress. I am your deliverer. Archangel Michael commands you again. Do not ignore this message. You are being given knowledge that will save your spirit from despair. You are being warned so you will not be surprised. You are being strengthened so you will not be shaken. God has already declared your victory. Nothing can reverse it. The person who plotted against you will soon stand exposed. The truth is already unfolding. Watch, listen, and trust. Even now, angels are at work on your behalf. Even now, the plans that were made against you are unraveling. Even now, the road ahead is being cleared. What seemed impossible will soon become your testimony. What looked like loss will soon be your increase. The very thing they tried to ruin will become the evidence that God's hand is on you. So take this message deep into your heart. Do not fear. Do not waver. Pray without ceasing. Trust fully. For God is with you. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are chosen. You are protected. And though they made a deal behind your back, their scheme has already failed. Heaven has spoken. And when heaven speaks, no earthly voice can undo it. God says, "Listen, my child, because this is not a moment for you to pass by casually, not a message for you to scroll past or leave unopened. Archangel Michael is standing before you and his words carry the urgency of heaven. He says, I order you to open this right now. Don't ignore it because this message is directly for you. You may think you found these words by accident, but accidents do not exist in the language of heaven. This is divine timing, an appointed hour, a moment when the veil between you and the spiritual realm grows thin so that my words may reach the depth of your heart. Archangel Michael reveals something you need to know. A person close to you, one you trusted, one you perhaps thought would support your path, made a deal behind your back. They whispered in places you could not hear. They spread lies in darkness, hoping to ruin your future, hoping to sabotage what I planned for you, hoping to block the doors I am opening for you. But my child, let your soul not tremble because what they plotted will not prosper. No weapon formed against you will succeed. They thought their hidden conversations, their backroom dealings, their secret handshakes in the shadows would destroy you. But the truth is, I already exposed them to my angels. I already sent Michael to intercept their schemes. What they built to trap you is falling apart in their hands. What they thought would bind you is turning into the very rope that ties them up in their own guilt. You feel this, don't you? You've sensed for some time that not everyone around you has your best interest at heart. Sometimes you felt drained when you left certain conversations. Sometimes your spirit grew heavy around certain people, though they smiled at you with their lips. That was no accident. That was discernment. That was my spirit inside you warning you that something was wrong. And now the truth is being unveiled. Someone, yes, someone you know, someone you trusted, made a deal behind your back. They traded honesty for betrayal. They exchanged friendship for envy. They let jealousy drive their choices. And in their fear of your light, they tried to put out your flame. But my child, no human hand can extinguish a fire I have set. Do not panic. Do not fear. Do not give them more power in your thoughts than they deserve. I, the Lord, am your protector. Archangel Michael says, you are safe, guarded by heavenly armies that never sleep. When they whispered, heaven listened. When they schemed, heaven recorded. And now heaven responds. I am turning this betrayal into a platform for your blessing. What they tried to bury, I will resurrect. What they tried to take, I will return sevenfold. What they meant for evil, I will use for good. You may ask, Lord, why would you allow this person so close to me if they were only going to betray me? Listen carefully. Sometimes I allow Judas to sit at the table, not because I desire your pain, but because betrayal reveals hearts. It is in betrayal that masks fall off. It is in betrayal that you learn who is truly for you and who only wanted your blessings without wanting to honor the one who gave them. Do not weep over those who walk away, for I am clearing the path for people who will truly walk with you. I see the tears you cried when you felt abandoned. I saw the nights when your pillow carried the weight of your silence. You thought nobody noticed, but I noticed. Every tear is a prayer in liquid form. And every prayer has been heard. The betrayal you suffered is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a revelation, the opening of a door to destiny. Archangel Michael says, do not ignore this. This is your wake-up call. Heaven is revealing names. Heaven is unveiling faces. The truth you need to know will not remain hidden. What was done in the darkness will be shouted from the rooftops. Even now, people who thought they could lie against you are tripping over their own words. Their tongues will confess the truth even when they try to hold it back. Their actions will expose them more loudly than any accusation could. God is pulling back the curtain and your eyes will see clearly who is with you and who is against you. But my child, hear this. Do not waste your strength on vengeance. Do not waste your breath cursing those who try to curse you. I am your defender. I am your advocate. I am your judge. And my judgment is perfect. The very person who thought they would ruin your future will soon see you elevated higher than they imagined. Their betrayal will become a testimony of my protection. For you will stand strong, blessed, favored, and unshaken while their schemes crumble to dust. You must stay close to me now. Pray with sincerity. Do not fear the truth when it arrives, for truth is your shield. Do not cling to those I expose, for exposure is mercy. It frees you from false loyalty. When someone reveals themselves, believe what you see. Trust me enough to let go. For holding on to people who meant you harm will only weigh down the blessings I am trying to place in your hands. Archangel Michael has been battling for you. He has been fighting off forces you cannot see. He has intercepted arrows aimed at your heart. He has blocked attacks against your mind. You wonder why you sometimes feel sudden peace even when chaos surrounds you. It is because Michael has been near standing as a guardian. Heaven does not leave you unprotected. Every day you wake up is evidence that my hand is upon you. I know your heart is weary. I know you ask, why must I face betrayal after betrayal? Why must I walk through storms so heavy? My child, storms do not come to break you. They come to reveal your anchor. You are anchored in me. That is why you are still standing. That is why every attempt to break you has failed. That is why even when they made deals behind your back, you kept moving forward without knowing why. Because I was shielding you from the worst of it. And now listen again. Their deal has failed. Their contract of darkness has been voided by my light. What they tried to exchange in secrecy is null and void in the courts of heaven. I have ruled in your favor. You are free. You are safe. You are chosen. You are unstoppable in my plan. So what must you do now? Trust me completely. Do not let fear whisper in your ear. Do not let suspicion harden your heart.